Hi, today we're going to talk about doing problems with percent. Get out your notebook, pause the video if you don't have your notebook with you, and then restart it when you have your notebook. Write this down. Percent means out of 100. Per means for every, and cent means 100, comes from the Latin word for 100. There's other words in English with cent in them that have to do with 100, like centipede or century. Cent, 100 in Spanish is cien. That's the same Latin, comes from the same Latin word as cent. So per cent means out of 100. And a percent is a part to whole ratio. I'm going to move myself out of the way here, because without the whole, it makes no sense to say that tax is 8% because you don't know what it's 8% of. Pause the video and finish writing this down. Suppose you want to solve a problem like this. Out of 100 people, 29% have blue eyes. How many people have blue eyes? Think about what percent means. The question there, the part that's in slanty writing, you don't have to write that in your notebook, but I would recommend you write the rest of it in your notebook. Think about what percent means and answer that question. You should have said that 29 people have blue eyes, because literally it's out of 100, and 29 out of 100 is 29%. And the sun's shining right in my eyes through the window, so you're going to see this funny glare and this funny shadow behind me, but just ignore that. Let's try another one. Out of 40 people, it's not out of 100 anymore. Out of 40 people, 50% are girls. 50%, 50 out of 100. Think about what fraction that is. So out of 40 people, how many are girls? Pause the video, write it down, think about it. You should have said 20 girls, because 50%, 50 out of 100 means half, and 20 is half of 40. So 50% of 40 would be 20, because 50% means half. So we're going to look at 3 different ways to solve this problem that's in bold right now. Write this down and think about it. Sales tax is 8% of the price. So how much tax do you have to pay on a $75 jacket? We are going to look at 3 different ways to solve the problem. And remember, I'm not going to slow down and wait for everyone to write this. So go ahead and pause the video anytime you need to write something down. One way to find this is to find what 1% is first, and then find the percent you want. So to do that, 1%, remember, means 1 out of 100, or 100th. And if you take that $75 and you split it into 100 equal parts, each part would be 1%. What math operation am I describing if I split something into equal parts? Think about that. Pause the video, finish writing if you need to, and then come back. You should have said that you are going to divide by 100, because that's how you split something into equal parts. So 75 divided by 100 is 0.75. That's 1% of the price. And then to find 8% of the price, you take 8 and you multiply it by the number that was 1%. Because if I take 1% and I make it 8 times bigger, I get 8%. Go get a calculator if you don't already have one. 8 times 0.75 equals $6. So that's my tax. Pause the video, catch up on writing this down if you need to. In your textbook, they show this method by drawing a line graph from 0% to 100%. They make a mark at 1% and they make a mark at the percent you want. And then they use scale factors to fill in the dollar amount for 1%. They use a scale factor. How do you scale 100% down to 1%? You would divide by 100, just like we did. And then they use that scale factor and fill in 75 cents here. Then to scale from 1% up to 8%, the scale factor is to multiply by 8, just like we did. And then they would write $6 down here. You also may remember the problem with Royal and Howdy's Pizza. Sometimes your textbook uses a rate table like from that problem. If we know 100% goes with $75, then we can use scale factors to find the dollars with 1% and then scale that up to 8%. Just like how with Royal and Howdy's Pizza, we knew the cost of 10 pizzas, so we scaled down to find the cost of one pizza, and then from that we can scale to find any other number of pizzas. Another option is to make a proportion. This is a fundamentally different way of solving this problem. Remember, I said that we were going to look at 3 different ways to solve the problem. This is the second one. We make a proportion. $75 is the whole jacket, so that would go with 100%. We're looking for the dollars that goes with 8% because we're looking for just the tax, which is 8%. So my proportion, if I set up dollars over percent, $75 goes with 100% and X dollars goes with 8%. Find the scale factor. Pause the video and write all this down while you're pausing the video. The question that I'm partially blocking here, you already wrote that down, but write the proportion, think about the scale factor, and then start the video again. Scale factor should be dividing by 12.5. You might have also said multiplying by 0.08. That is also an acceptable scale factor. So what do I do to find X? I would do 75 divided by 12.5, or if you did it the other way, 75 times 0.8. Either way, the answer should be the same as what we got last time. Try it on a calculator. It is the same. X equals 6. Pause the video and try that on a calculator if you need to. One more option. This only works when you're looking for the dollar amount that goes with the percent that's the part. There's 3 different numbers in these problems. There's the percent, there's the amount that goes with that percent, and there's the amount that represents the total. If you're looking for the percent or if you're looking for the total, it's much easier to use one of the other 2 methods. But if you're looking for the amount that goes with the percent, in this case, that would be the dollars that represents 8%, then there is a shortcut we can use. 8% means 8 hundredths. 8 hundredths of each dollar. 8 cents for each dollar, because pennies, cents means hundredths. So if there are $75, I know what part of each dollar I want, and I know how many dollars there are. Think about what math operation I'm describing. Pause and restart when you're ready. When I have each and a total, what math operation is that? You should have said it is multiplication, so I would do 8 hundredths times 75, because you have this fraction of each dollar, and I have $75, so my total would be $6. Now you know 3 different ways to solve percent problems. So you can use that to do today's assignment.